Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your support. Today, I read an article on Yahoo Finance titled, "Young Americans Cut Spending, Shun Restaurants as Prices Rise, Study." This article was put out by Reuters. I'll include a link to the article in the description below. I encourage you to read the full article to support the authors and news source. As a private American citizen, I'd like to report and share my transformative thoughts through commentary regarding small sections of this article that are of public interest. According to the article, 73% of Gen Z consumers between the ages of 18 and 26 have changed their lifestyles because of increased prices, according to a Bank of America poll of more than 1,100 respondents. Now, keep in mind, this is a relatively small sample size, yet this is very interesting. To me, I am not surprised that individuals who are part of Generation Z between the ages of 18 and 26 have changed some of their lifestyle habits recently due to increased prices. I think you will all agree that everyone here in the United States of America is being impacted by inflation. Many of these young people grew up during an era where their parents may have been doing quite well financially. Some of these individuals right now are at the age where they are either graduating from high school or graduating from college and entering the real world. Now they are getting a taste for what life in the real world is really like. Many are not getting a livable wage. Many are struggling to be able to afford overpriced rent. Many are grappling with high vehicle payments, and some now have to resume making their student loan payments. For those who just graduated recently, they may have had to make their very first student loan payment ever this month. Can you see how this could potentially be a shock to someone's system, especially to someone who may have been in college for the past 4, 5, or 6 years? When you are attending college and living on campus or near campus, it is almost like you are living in a self-contained bubble. Once you graduate from college and enter the real world, life gets very real. I remember graduating from college and getting my first job and receiving my very first paycheck. I couldn't believe how small my first paycheck was compared to what all of my bills were. I really had to watch my budget when I went to the grocery store. I had to secure housing that was as cheap as possible. I had to make those dollars stretch as far as I could. Some young people may have never experienced this reality before. They may have had their parents covering all of their bills up until this point. Some of these young people who are part of Generation Z are entering the real world at a very difficult time. Fortunately, some of these individuals who are part of Generation Z may have wealthy parents due to the fact that their homes have appreciated in value so much in the past several decades. Some of these Generation Z individuals may be able to get some financial help from their parents once they are getting their footing in the real world. Not everyone is this fortunate. There are some individuals who have parents who are in bad financial shape. Some individuals may need to hustle and figure out a way to be able to survive on their own. This article goes on to talk about how many Americans are cutting their spending. According to the article, 43% chose to cook at home instead of dining out. 40% spent less on clothes, and 33% pared down grocery purchases to the essentials. I am not surprised that 43% chose to cook at home instead of dining out. If you have been to a restaurant lately, you have likely been shocked by how much many of the menu items cost. If you have visited a restaurant that uses one of those electronic checkout systems, you have probably also been surprised that the tip defaults to 20 or 25% in many cases. I personally have no problem paying a 20 or 25% tip if the server did a good job. With how much it costs to dine out, some people may struggle just to pay the bill not even factoring in how much the tip is going to cost. There are a lot of people who put these meals on their credit cards and don't pay off those credit card balances at the end of the billing cycle. There are a lot of everyday Americans that carry credit card debt month after month because of dining out. A lot of these people should choose to cook at home instead. It is not some type of right that every American gets to dine out at a nice restaurant. I know a lot of people enjoy doing this, but the fact of the matter is not everyone can afford to do this on a regular basis. There are a lot of people who really need to live below their means and purchase food at the grocery store and cook at home. In my opinion, this is a lot smarter than going into credit card debt just to be able to dine out at a nice restaurant. I am also not surprised that 40% spent less money on clothes. Even when you go to a discount store to purchase clothes, they are expensive. Forget about going to some type of boutique. The prices there are incredibly high. I am very frugal. The white dress shirts that I wear are from Amazon. I've included an Amazon affiliate link in the description below. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. I really like these white wrinkle-free dress shirts. They don't require any ironing. I don't have to take these to a dry cleaner. I can throw them in the laundry machine and then I can put them in the dryer and simply hang them up. I like to not have to worry about any type of special care for the clothes that I purchase. I also like to purchase clothes that are as cheap as possible. Do you think I go to the men's store and spend $40, $60, $80, $100 for every tie that I wear? Absolutely not. I go to Goodwill and I look for the ties that have been donated by a lot of different high-end clothing stores. A lot of times these clothing stores will get rid of last year's items and they'll simply dump them at Goodwill. I am not purchasing neckties that have been worn by some sweaty old man. I purchase ties that are brand new, that have never been worn by anyone. Many of these ties are from designer brands, and the clothing store simply got rid of these at Goodwill so they could make room for new inventory. Occasionally, I can find one of these ties for 99 cents at Goodwill, but generally they are priced at $1.99. This is a great price compared to what they cost new at the men's store. Sometimes for fun, I come home and I look up how much the ties cost new on the internet. I have actually purchased ties for $1.99 that cost over $500 new. The majority of the ties that I find at Goodwill cost between $40 to $60. Occasionally, I might strike gold and find some type of very high-end necktie. Unfortunately, many everyday Americans are not as thrifty. Many go into credit card debt because of their shopping habits. There are a lot of people that believe in retail therapy. Some people feel bad about their life. They want to go to the shopping mall. They enjoy trying on clothes. They enjoy purchasing new clothing items because it gives them some type of temporary high. Unfortunately, that is often short-lived. Many people wear those articles of clothing a few times, and then those items end up going to Goodwill. But the credit card debt remains. This article goes on to indicate while Gen Z is cutting back, older generations, including boomers, increase spending as much as 5%, the report showed. This doesn't surprise me at all. Many boomers right now are rich on paper because they have seen their property values increase over the past few years. Some of these boomers who were fortunate enough to invest in equities decades ago have also seen their portfolios do quite well. Many boomers started at companies during an era when companies still offered pensions. Many of these retired boomers have Social Security income coming in every month. They also have a pension coming in every month. They have a home that is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, or in some cases millions of dollars, which is also paid off. Many of these individuals are flush with cash, and they have nothing better to do than to go out into the economy and spend it. There are a lot of retired boomers that want to enjoy their retirement years. This often includes going out and spending money in the economy. Many of these retired individuals want to enjoy going out to dinner or going to a movie or going to some type of musical. They may enjoy taking a trip, buying some different souvenirs for their children or grandchildren. There are a variety of ways that these retired individuals can spend their money and enjoy themselves. While many retired boomers are out spending money in the economy and enjoying themselves, we also have Generation Z individuals who are trying to get their financial footing for the first time. Many just recently graduated from college and they are struggling to find their way in the real world. I feel bad for a lot of these individuals who are part of Generation Z because they are entering the real world at a very difficult time. And many of these individuals never had the benefit of being able to complete some type of financial literacy course in high school or in college. Many states here in America do not require any type of financial literacy course in high school. There are also a lot of colleges that don't require any type of financial literacy course. Some young people may be fortunate to have parents who are financially savvy who can provide them with guidance. Not all of them are that lucky. Some young people have parents who have a mountain of credit card debt and are struggling financially themselves. What do you think about all this? Are you surprised that 73% of Gen Z consumers between the ages of 18 and 26 have changed their lifestyles because of increased prices? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please keep in mind, nothing in this video is financial advice. If you need advice of any kind, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I also want to thank all of my channel members. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.